Hi, and welcome to another edition of Mike Finds Things, where we go out and find records out in the wild, mostly at estate sales. Sometimes I purchase record lots, and I always find a lot of amazing stuff. And I'll go to a lot of sales usually when I have time. And I definitely went to some sales in the last couple weeks. We got some records for you. I still have that lot from the estate auction that I bought. I'll probably be doing that one next week. Of course, I've been saying that for weeks now. Also, I changed the icon on the channel to like a neon sign that says Mike Finds Things. I think it looks a lot better and more professional and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, we have gardeners again. Oh, now they stopped. This is the second time I've started filming this. They're far enough away where it shouldn't be too bad. I find Monday's like a good day usually to film, and it's Monday morning right now. And hopefully I'll get this up this afternoon because this was the only day I really had time to do this. So we're going to start with a sale. I got several sales I went to. One of them I can't remember where I got these two of the 78s in this pile. There's 78s, there's LPs, and there's mostly 45s in this week's video. So let's get started. From 1966, we got a Northern Soul record. Now this sale was like 5 minutes from my daughter's school, and I had a school thing to go to the other day. And I would normally have not gone to this sale. They had a picture of the records. The records they had pictures of were terrible. They usually take pictures of LPs. Did not know they had 45s until I got there. And it was the second day of the sale, so normally everything's picked over. But as you'll see, everything was definitely not picked over, and it was half off day. And I will say it's the same estate sale company that broke that Elvis 78 from a couple weeks ago. That's why I don't want to call them out, because I do go just a lot of their sales. This one is Johnny Wyatt. This Thing Called Love is a Northern Soul banger on Bronco Records. Does have some label wear. It plays fine. And to whom it may concern is the B-side on this one. This one was actually produced and written by none other than Mr. Barry White in 1966. This one, the Northern Soul collectors are definitely after this one. According to Discogs, low of 40, mid 150, and a high of 221. I did see one guy asking on like a Northern Soul record site. He was asking, what was it, $300. Like, it was whatever in pounds, and then it worked out to $300 over in the UK. This one is definitely a banger. It's worth checking out if you really like Northern Soul. It's actually on iTunes, so I played it for my kid in the car. But the record actually does play really well. Second one I found, I think about a handful of 45s at this sale. Did not spend a lot of money. I'll tell you, I didn't spend that kind of money. And this one is a promo record, 1958. I can't find any Discogs comps. Discogs comps can be kind of weird, like I always mention, but it's generally like the easiest place to comp a record on. A non-promo version of this record sold for $25. Didn't have any comps on the promo version. On Challenge Records, this is a rock and roll record. The Change of Love, Kenny Loran with the Laurels. So we got that one. And Lonely Boy. This one actually has an X on it, so I'm guessing that might have been the plug side. A lot of times you find these that were used in radio stations or for DJs. They would know which side to play. They'd put an X on it. There's actually another record there that they actually scratched out one side of the record. I didn't buy it. I'm guessing so the DJ wouldn't play that one. So this guy must have known someone at a DJ place. This one's not a rare one, but it's not like the artist comes up a lot. Not this record so much. It's got a little bit of issues, but nothing terrible. 1961 soul record, Bewildered, James Brown and His Famous Flames. So another one that's not worth. This one's not really worth a lot of money, but I always like to find early James Brown stuff. And If You Want Me, this one's on King Records. Again, I didn't even put down a value because it's not like a very valuable record. But always cool to find James Brown, and it's not one of the normal titles you always find. You know, Please Please Me and It's a Man's World, all that. Another one, not a high value, 58 doo-wop record on Ember. This one's Op by the Honeycombs, not to be confused with the Honeycomb, which was like a soul group years later, and Vision of You on the other side. So we have that one. This one says, Many Thanks, Bob Stern. So maybe it was a gift. Maybe Bob Stern worked at a radio station, worked for the record company. Who knows? I said there was a few promos in here. It's another Northern Soul, not worth as much. From 67, we got low of 6, mid of 11, and a high of 15. And this one, the B side is of the record is actually the Northern Soul side, which happens a lot on these records. People flipped the record over and found out that the B side had a Northern Soul beat. It's Bobby Mack with "Walking Together" on Moonglow Records. You can see this one they put John and Sandy, so I originally owned that, like, it kind of made it their song. And the B side is "Keep On." That's the Northern Soul, the one they play at the clubs, so to speak. And so unfortunately they did write John and Sandy with little hearts on it. So probably a teenager owned that record many, many years ago. This is a neat one. 1958 promo record. It's kind of surf-ish, is what I said. They called it Space Age Pop on Discogs. It has kind of like that twangy guitar instrumental feel to it. Low of 177, mid of 960, high of 1957. So nothing incredibly expensive. The Esquire Boys with "Taboo" on 20th Fox Records. Promo. And the weird thing, this is the side that's like an instrumental surf track. The B side, "Have You Got Good Religion?" Sounds like a religious folk song. And it's not that great. The Taboo side is definitely the better side on that one. And I was kind of looking at it, I'm wondering if they intended for that side to be the A side, but the Taboo side definitely sounds better than the other side to me, which happens a lot on old records. Every once in a while you'll find one like that. This was a 1964 soul record on Atlantic. This one has 2 listings for the same record. One says low of 5, mid of 45, high of 126. The highs are usually like a special circumstance. It's mint. Who knows? It's autographed. Who knows what's going on? The other comp is 13, mid of 27, and high of 45. Little Esther Williams with "Mo Johanna." And this one's in good shape. It's got a few scratches. And "No Headstone on My Grave" on the other side on this one. I always like to pick up the Atlantics that I've never seen before, and that's definitely one of them. Here's a 66 soul record, low of 46 cents. Somebody sold a record for 46 cents on Discogs. Mid of 2, high of 12. Chris Farlow, "Out of Time" on MGM, and "Baby Make It Soon." So, and we're going to go into the next sale. This one was kind of interesting. This was a morning where there were 3 sales in Arcadia. I went to all 3 sales, found nothing. And then I found on Facebook Marketplace, was the only place the sale was posted, they're having a tool sale. But then I looked at her other stuff, and she had like a dining room set she was selling. And I'm thinking, well, she's probably clearing out an estate. So I took a chance. I went over there because it wasn't far from where the other 3 sales were. It was down in like Rosemead. And they had some records, and they had other stuff. I did buy a cool little popcorn tin, Popeye popcorn from the late 40s. I bought an old clock radio from the 60s, some license plates and other odds and ends. But I did get a few records. Nothing crazy value-wise, but you'll see what's here. And then we got one more sale, 2 more sales after that one, I think, worth of records. Ruth Brown, low of 1, mid of 6, high of 25, R&B from 56. Smooth Operator. It's not the Sade song. And I Still Love You on Atlantic. So I grabbed that one. I think I didn't spend much money at that sale, and I definitely got a lot of good stuff. Like, I should have went to that sale first because there were people pulling all kinds of cool stuff out of the garage before I got there. This one's low of 1, mid of 650, high of 47. It's a 55 R&B on Flip, which is a LA label. Man from Utopia, Donald Woods and the Vel-Airs. That's one I don't believe I've ever come across. I can't remember. If I did, I can't remember. Death of an Angel. It's got some like light scratches. Probably needs a good cleaning, but I did get that one. It's more of a common one, so I didn't really put a price on it. But it's just a good copy of it. I've been looking for good, like, original label records for when I got an AMI, a 1960 AMI K200. It's about to be fixed, so I want to have some ones with the original labels because it plops the record down. You can see the label. The turbines with When You Dance on Harold. It's always a good label for like doo-wop stuff. And let me show you Around My Heart on the other side. Another one, like I said, these are great. Getting into record collecting, pick them up because the labels are cool and they're not super expensive. 1962, another one that isn't really, this one needs a good cleaning. Solomon Burke, I'm Hanging Up My Heart for You. Probably need to clean this one as well. Down in the Valley. So this one actually still has the Atlantic sleeve with it. I think that was the only one I got there that had a sleeve. And they did have some 78s. He had a lot of LPs, but they're all like classical and stuff, and big band and things like that. From 52, this one's, most people know this song. The 78, unfortunately, is not in the greatest shape. It does play. I played it. 1952, low of $30, mid of 70, high of 97. Moose Jackson with the big 10-inch record on King. And it's like a double entendre record. And I Needed You on the other side. And if you know, it was redone, I believe, by Aerosmith many years later. But that's the original version from 1952, unless he covered it from somebody else. But very well-known song, and pretty cool on 78, I wish it was in better shape. 1955, an R&B record on Modern. This one is sold for $10. Discogs prices I don't like too much on 78s because, like I said, like I always say, a lot of the 78 guys don't want to do Discogs because they're afraid of the sellers not knowing how to pack a shellac record. This one is Roll Hot Rod Roll, Oscar McLaughlin and his Honey Jumpers. Cool R&B record. And the other side is Convicted. That one's got the, this was Marty's record at one time. It's got a lot of records. I'm guessing this guy went through, a lot of them were just, like I said, big band. Now, these are two mystery ones. Not mystery records per se, but I can't remember what sale I got them at because it was so long ago. And I'm pretty sure I didn't put them in a video yet, so we'll just go ahead and dive right in. We got one that I can't really find. I think this one had a low value. I always pick up these black and white label 78s. Jack McVeigh with his door openers, the keys in the mailbox. So I found some really good stuff on black and white, so I usually take a chance on it. This one didn't really have a bunch of a value. It's from 47. And Richard Get Hitched on the other side. This one, it's in like really nice shape. So like an R&B record from 47. Now, same sale as that one. This was actually in the Columbia sleeve. It's a red label. Now, people always say, "Oh, the red labels, there's never anything good." I have found blues records on red label before, and I found another blues record on a red label. This one on Discogs has a low of 25, mid of 46, high of 65 from 1946. It is Memphis Mini Mean Mistreater Blues. Like I said, you got to check the red labels, make sure they're not all Frank Sinatra and Doris Day. And I'm So Glad is the other side. And this is like a very, very, very nice example of this record. I would say probably like it's about as clean as you're going to find a 78. And I said, and it's in an original Columbia sleeve, which to boot, which it was. I didn't do one of those like switcheroos or anything. So that's cool to find. Always great to find blues on 78. Of course, I would love to find pre-war blues on 78. We still got that Paramount in the other pile, but it's not blues. It's something else. Now, this sale was one I went to. I filmed my other channel, which is my name, Mike Frankovich. I filmed Riverside Show and Go a few weeks ago. And on the way back, I hit a sale up in the hills, I believe above Monrovia, or somewhere around Monrovia or Glendora. No, it was Glendora, up in the hills. And I did pick up some records at that one. I bought some other stuff as well. We're mostly concerned with the records. And some interesting stuff. Definitely worth hitting the sale on the way back. And I still got the video up that afternoon, the other video. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We need more subscribers. Like the video. Leave some comments on these records. Helps us with the algorithm. And that goes for any video you watch on YouTube, no matter whose it is and what the genre is. If you like their video, hit that like. subscribe to their channel and leave a comment, because it helps everybody out. And it also helps you get recommended the videos you actually do want to watch. So this is the first one from that sale. It was Ruby Dooby Doo, not Scooby Dooby Doo. Tobin Matthews on Chief. I took a chance. It wasn't really worth anything. It's a rock and roller from 1960. And Leather Jacket Cowboy. But it had like a really cool Chief Records logo on that one. Let's see what we got next. 1958. This is a well-known doo-wopper. Another one I probably picked up because of the label for the for one of the. I have two jukeboxes that, well, actually I have three now, that plop the record down, and you can see the label spinning. Most of my jukeboxes are Seabergs, where you can't see the label. Ram-a-Lam-a Ding Dong by the Edsels, but a super clean copy on dub, and it's such a nice looking label too. So that'll be great for that. And then Bells on the other side. And that one has a low value of 45 cents, mid of 7.50, high of 25. So, still has a pretty good value. It's, even though it's a very well-known song. And I like that label. We got a 1970 Soul promo. I didn't write down a value, so it probably wasn't worth much. Jimmy Huff, I'd Love Making Love to You. That's a promo copy, and this company put the star on there. And what labels this? Notable Records. So it's a notable record, according to the label. And the B-side is the Lonely Young Girls. On a promo soul record. Came out of that sale up in the hills. Another one where you wouldn't expect to find cool records, because it's a pretty nice part of town. We got another one. This is super common, but it has a kind of a nice looking label on it. Barbara George, I Know. Pretty well-known song from 1961. You guys probably know that one. Love on the other side. No crazy value on it, so I didn't put a value on it. Another common one you find a lot, but I grabbed it because it was so clean. Such a clean copy. Raunchy, Ernie Freeman. This one actually pops up a lot, at least in my area. I'm sure probably in other areas as well. This is like a national hit. Puddin' on the other side. But I mean, when you find them clean, I just grab when they're cheap. They're clean. Another good jukeboxer. Another common one. We're gonna get to some better stuff here in a minute. Hey Baby by Bruce Channel on Smash. Grabbed it because it was clean. And Dream Girl on the other side. Again, probably cheap, like maybe $5 record. From 1958. This was actually Dion and the Belmonts' first single, apparently. And I grabbed it. It's No One Knows. Lori Records. You find a lot of Dion and the Belmonts, but it's like another one that doesn't have a high value. And I Can't Go On, Rosalie. So I probably grabbed it more because of the condition than anything. What were these 78s? These were, I think these two. Oh, this is actually two different sales worth. Okay, I kind of remember what was going on. And we got, yeah, okay, this sale was in La Cañada. I was on my way back from another sale and stopped by there and picked these up. Again, nothing crazy. On Jubilee, this is, from what I understand, this was like the top selling record for Jubilee Records. White Silver Sands, Don Rondo. Probably know it. But it's a clean copy on 78. Stars Fell on Alabama's the B-side on that one. One that's not like super expensive, but most people have heard that song if you know that era of music. Always good to grab it. Good one for the 78 jukebox if that one ever gets fixed. We got another clean copy. I grabbed it because it was so clean, even though it's a common record. Unforgettable, Nat King Cole on Capitol. And Pretend is the B-side. I'm not going to go into too much depth. I think we all know what that is. I don't think there's any mystery as to what that record is. Here's another one that is not a mystery. That's Amore, Dean Martin, another Capitol. In good condition, and You're the Right One. So I do like to grab, I always say I like to grab even the common ones if they're in good condition. Stuff that people would actually want to play on their jukebox. Here's one we did find it, the original version of this a couple weeks ago, or I think it was in 2 videos ago. This is the Crew Cuts with Shaboom. So this is the remake on Mercury from 1954. Not a high value record, and I spoke too soon as the other side. I think more people would want the chords version, as it is. I think more people want that one than would want the crew cuts version these days. But still, nice to pick it up. It's in good shape. And it's in a capital sleeve, which should probably be on one of the capitals, but whatever. Here we go. We got from this came from. Oh, I mixed this up. This next one came from that other sale up in the hills in Glendora. This was neat to find because the LPs have been picked through, and for some reason this one didn't get picked up. 1958, low of 3, mid of 35. This is for this pressing. There's multiple pressings of this one. High of $322. Somebody was really desperate to get that one, I guess. Blues record. Fever, Little Willie John LP. And I know there's a couple variations, so I looked up which variation it was, and that's the variation of this one. And on King Records. And the record, the sleeve, because it's that early cardboard LP sleeve, the record is actually, I'm not going to pull it, but the record is actually really nice on that one. So that's what I have for you this week on Mike Finds Things. Hopefully I'll be able to get to that stash I got out of the auction. Like I said, there's definitely a lot. There's like a wide variety of stuff in there too. It's not like it's all like one genre. Hopefully I'll hit some, as Memorial Day's coming up this weekend, I do have a 2-day car show in Santa Maria. Then that Sunday I might be hitting another car show locally here. So I've got, hopefully there'll be some Thursday sales or Friday morning sales that I can hit. Maybe I can find some more stuff. I was going to do a video on tips of finding records at estate sales, and one of the tips was like, look at the area and look at the other stuff they have, but this kind of like voided that tip because I found really great records at sales that I would normally assume I would not find good records at, which is probably another rule you could probably go by. But as always, we get a lot of other great stuff coming up as soon as I find it. And like I said, this is Mike Finds Things. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. Also, check out my new channel, which is Vinyl Interior. I've been messing around with AI music. And yes, I've been making like songs that sound like oldies and older music. And if you like the music on this channel, you might want to check it out. And all the songs are related to cars in some way. That's kind of the theme of the channel. And there'll be a link in the video description on this video, so check that one out as well. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.